let us start the session, I think, so that we complete everything on time. Yeah, Dr. Amit, it's over to you.
Morning, everyone. Respected Chairman, Chairpersons, and dear colleagues. Greetings from Pune. And I would be talking about some scenarios where you face difficulties. Myectomies are a very common occurrence nowadays, and most of the times they're straightforward whenever we stick to the principles and the operative steps. But once in a while, and some other times when it is not anticipated, you would be facing problems where you would have an issue with different aspects of the myomectomy steps. So it has evolved, and without a question, now it is the minimal access surgery of choice for all leiomyomas. We have been doing them for some time now, and there are some set standards, standard operating procedures and steps which will help you go back and complete the procedure in the least possible difficulties. But in spite of that, you will be facing problems most of the times, either due to the size or either due to the location where it is not accessible or difficult to operate on. And it can be a space related thing also, but also most of the times due to the adjacent anatomies where it would be difficult to do a detailed dissection. Now, when we talk about large myomas, there cannot be any limit to it. The difficulty start as soon as you start posting them for the patients, and you will face that the anesthetist, pre-anesthetic checkup, the anesthetists also are going to take some extra precautions. We know that they would be bleeding more than the normal myomas, wherein they would insist that you have a good backup. If the size is more than for the general anesthesia, it also poses difficulties because the respiration, the head-low position sometimes required can be a challenge. Now, the most important problem that as per se that you anticipate immediately would be where would you be placing your ports if it's a large myoma. And you will have to be creative in this sense, but you will have to go above your normal port placements to get an access, the triangulation, and for manipulating the fibroid with the contraction and the countertraction. It is a given that they would be bleeding more, and you'll have to take all the necessary precautions. Either it's a preoperative vasopressin or blood loss decrease by taking adequate cautery and finishing it quick. As deep as the myomas are, you will have a problem suturing the myoma bed in proper anatomical position and coming out, and the difficult morcellation. Sometimes it lasts almost as much as the surgery does. So this was by far the largest that I had operated upon. We had this lady from Bhopal who was an unmarried lady, and she insisted for a minimal access surgery. She had a 20 centimeter myoma, a huge myoma in the body of the uterus, and per abdomen it was almost clinically till 28 weeks of pregnant uterus size. And she had been evaluated earlier, and since she insisted on a minimal access surgery with due proper written consent and a laparotomy consent, we went in for a myomectomy. Now, we did face the issue because the ports had to be really high. What we go supraumbilically, we had to go even more 2 centimeters above, and then gently and stepwise do the surgery. So you will excuse the difficulty in vision and operative procedures. This was the myoma right bang in front when we put in our first port, and the space for operation was also very less. Due to the lack in space and available space for myomectomy, we had to take a posterior incision and then go down below again for delivering the myoma. Now, the myoma was delivered with difficulty, but obviously because there was less space for the traction and countertraction, we had to rush through to approximate and suture the myoma bed. We did it with Vicryl 1 number with 2 layers. But the difficulty again was that after the procedure was done, the morcellation took half an hour more than what the whole surgery took. But also went well, that ends well, and the patient went back home exactly as planned. She was in our hospital for 5 days, and back again where she is. So I used to discuss this with my teacher, and when he used to ask, how would you plan such a surgery, how do you plan the other surgery, and he used to say that when I asked what is the most important thing, he used to say incision, incision, incision. You have to plan your incision very properly, meticulously, go in with a prior mindset as to what you're going to do. And this is because this will help you approach, deliver and remove the myoma. Of course, it is also important that when the incision is extended or has to be extended for purposes in intraoperative challenges, you have to take care that if it's a vertical incision, you should not, when the incision extends, you can go and inadvertently have a problem with the bladder or the bowel behind. And when it's a infertility surgery on a transverse incision, you have to take care that you don't touch the cornus, because you're going to suture it back. So the normal anatomical procedure and the function of it has to be taken care even after the surgery is over. Now, this was the second lady, an infertility of about 7 to 8 years, and she had a 10 centimeter myoma. initially the previous video we showed about a vertical incision. We had, since we had a better access, we went for a horizontal incision here, transverse incision, and the myoma was delivered with the proper care. I will skip the process of removing it because it's the same. And once that has been done, the myoma bed was sutured again with 2 layers of Vicryl. But because of the space issue, not as big as the one that was shown in the first video, but this also, because the bed is now deep, almost till the endometrial cavity, we had to be careful while suturing it back. So again, with stepwise 2-layer closure, we were successful in approximating and suturing the myoma bed to its natural anatomical position. And both the patients required intraoperative, as well as this patient required only intraoperative blood, but the first patient had to be supplemented later on because she was 9 gram hemoglobin preoperatively. But this is the challenges of myoma in a laparoscopic surgery when the size is an issue. Now, the size can be a difficult issue when we are doing even a smaller myoma, but the settings are different. For example, if you're dealing with a hysteroscopic myomectomy, where there is a very restricted operative space. And the challenge here is not the size per se. When I put it into words, what I mean is that when I'm informed by my registrars that it's a 2 centimeter myoma or whatever size suspected and we're going in for a hysteroscopic myomectomy, it is the volume that matters. Now 1 centimeter, or if it's a 2 centimeter and then later on becoming 3 centimeter, the volume is different and that can pose challenges. And sometimes the patient has to be told that if it is not accessible in a single setting, the consent has to be taken, where you have to plan it in 2 different settings if necessary. But that is required if you're dealing particularly with a monopolar cautery. Glycine would be used, where then you will have a problems of hyponatremia and overfluid later on. So this has to be planned in advance. I'll skip to it fast. Now, the other problem is when the myomas are situated near important anatomical structures, and where you will have a problem. Broad ligament myomas are classically fall into this category, and it would be prudent to do a retroperitoneal dissection with it, not from the site of the myoma, from different sites to approach the myoma from laterally also. So we had this fibroid which was reported as a posterior wall myoma, but then actually it was a broad ligament myoma. Dealing posteriorly as well as extending into the anterior above the round ligament. We went for a posterior incision, we opened the peritoneum. So the most important part in such a problem in dealing with anatomies like this is to stick to the anatomical planes, stay away from the lateral pelvic wall. But you have to identify the lateral pelvic wall structures with surety, and then restrict your dissection, cautery as well as blunt dissections to the planes that we are dealing with. Here the problem is of course the ureter, where it has to be identified from its course in the lateral pelvic wall towards its insertion into the uterosacral. And so a careful watch for this has to be done. I'll again skip through it because of the time issue. And sometimes there is a rare presentation where you would be surprised once you go in. Now most of the preoperative investigations are done, which would help us know exactly what it is, but they're not always going to help you with exactly what is the pathology. For example, this was not anticipated early. This was we thought was a subserous myoma, but basically was a round ligament myoma. It was arising from the round ligament. It was not that difficult, but it was adjacent to the lateral pelvic wall and also towards the origin from where it was coming. But we were successful in removing it from the round ligament. So pre-operative evaluation and anticipating that this can be a difficult or a challenging anatomy is what you should be gauging. And when the size is more, you have to be sure what you're going to do it. Thank you.
That was a very good presentation. Just one question,
Yes.
take home message. In a case of infertility, would you remove all fibroids, or what statement you would make?
So we're not dealing with a huge fibroid, but ladies who are trying to conceive, and anybody with more than 3 centimeter, or all the fibroids who are indenting upon the endometrial cavity, they have to be removed. So, excuse me, a histoscopy done before you do in a laparoscopy, see whether the myoma mapping which was done earlier, and which of them are indenting the endometrial wall, they have to go. Either histoscopically
so myoma
or...
mapping has to be done.
Yes, it has to be done.
And all fibroids need not to be removed.
No, not
if
at
it is
all.
a subserous fibroid, 4 centimeters, not indenting the endometrium.
It should not, it may not be removed at all.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.